Oh, hello and back. Because I don't know how long I'm gonna be on, so this one won't be a stream. Instead, it'll be a recorded video. So we are continuing, trying to look for a Montagine, who is right there.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
You know it, man. Know it. You know it. Why I have to deal with these lot. For some
If I
odd
may,
reason, I find
there is a
Elise.
rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the forum must fulfill?
Yeah, for some odd reason, I find Elise's, what you call it, model slightly off. I can't put my finger on it, but it seems off somehow.
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic.
Would it really be that important? Or are you just making it sound like important so that you don't have to tell us, eh? I wonder which one of that is it is.
As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Right, so you are bound by enchantment from Primal?
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms.
So here comes a big massive low dump.
Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Emotion. I'll say magic, but I don't think so.
Not entirely inaccurate, but nor is it the answer I was looking for. That would be corporeal ether.
Yeah, but I thought that would be way too easy. Corporeal and incorporeal. Interesting.
This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Welcome to the idol.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink?
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Ah. Yes, it's
The
that.
seventh umbral calamity.
Yeah, and guess who caused it?
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm.
And yet,
But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act.
it was a deliberate act. Can I say that?
The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Charlene prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
Ah, so you just break the law yourself, eh?
Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. Unnecessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
That is a great question.
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified. The blots upon our souls and our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Probability of soul being continuous or evolving into something else, eh? It's possible either way, but yeah. If you think of that, take that into account, Xenos could be one of the firstborn, the monster firstborn, soul returned, or he could be one of the members of the congregation. Who knows? Just as we are recognized as a member of a congregation of 14, but we do not remember any of it. So, are we going to get the memory back?
Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Think. So I'm allowed to use the crafting
And I
facilities.
suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
So, how long before Charlian actually changes their stance and begs us to do something about stuff? Sklark, once he is best known for his role as the head of Stadium. He is said to be one of the finest mages in Sharian ever produced. I haven't seen for myself the ease which he could weave extraordinarily complex, powerful magics, I have no doubts of the claim. Some of my earliest memories of Skurlock. Actually, he was closest. I was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come to tea and amaze us with his tricks, which, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the stadium in the first place. Pewter chest coffer. Yeah. Well, that gives me much to mull over. I feel as though we are one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives, the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex, and perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Kui Aliyah 4, as Skolark suggested, while I share our finding with Raha. She really likes to call him Raha, doesn't she? Rather than Graha. Raha it is. Speak with Gratia and Manhole Valdesian Annex. Hmm. Oh, you can go to Tavernier from there, eh? Where are you, Raha? Having spent most of the time in Tavernier, I have fully grasped the lay of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the annex proves the challenge. Stinian returned not long after we departed for the stadium. I ashamed that he missed the chance to attend the lecture of Scholarach. Scholarch. Yeah, Scholarch. Or perhaps not. Yeah, he was not the steadiest guy. It seems that I've done a quite adequate job of relaying Scholarch's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of soul and memory, he had no trouble understanding it. You better not let your guard down around Q. One small favor becomes another, then another. Before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Yes, I've done that before, bottle of wine. Running around the world to look for a bottle of wine. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics. And as the scholar said, could also lead to interesting discoveries. Yeah, bottle of wine before the Titan fight. Now, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to Stadium proved more educational. While you were away, I received a word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of wording scale was met with much joy. Preparation are now underway to bring leadership of Grand Company of Eosia and Eastern Light together to determine our way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring scale in opposition to Limsa. Ah, so time has come for us to go on the offense. Too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way of the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such plan, but let us see what awaits us in Wildebrand. Wilbrand. Let's start getting the scale out of the storage. Give me a hand, would you, Asinia? I hadn't realized these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain, though Ritra and alchemists of the great work put their hearts and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. And are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We have already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as an official representative, were to find us consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers, as I await a word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we will soon have a good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it, to Lim Salamanca. Yeah, but I'm just wondering what is the foreign gonna do when they hear that we can actually destroy the tower? Because they don't really care. I don't think they're planning for that tower's destruction. If you learn of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause, though I fear it will be precious little given circumstances. Precious little. It'll be precious. Oh wait, can I? Can I just teleport? Now it's called command room. I thought it was called the what was it? It was called something else before. Wasn't it bulwark? No, the bulwark is a hull before, and I can't remember what the actual thing is called. Yeah, bulwark hull. I can't remember what the thing is called. What we have Reen. Ah, great. People doing Reen crossplay. What are you here for? It has this ship landing, adventurous girl, and very top of command room for Admiral. Where she cooks about, yeah. Right. So they actually changed the name for it. Command to the command room. Uh, I was told to expect you, and the Admiral is present in entertaining Al Syrian Sultana. They're the most powerful women in the world in one word. Do you need a moment to prepare? Or should I show you to them? Uh, are they three of the most powerful women? Think about it, man. Think about it. They may have the political power, but I've got the muscle power. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such a short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, pleasantly surprised to join such a company. It was only right that we discussed discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threats posed by the towers. It's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action. We have taken an incentive to set the wheels in motion. It's reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But may I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on warding skills, our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have been engaging in separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, the surge in abductions of kobolds, sargans, Exali, and Ananta, yeah, the snake people, have given the rise to increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph at the Razat Han has given us cause for hope once more. Uh, the time has come to free ourselves of this menace. It is you, Scientist Seven Dials, who shown us the way. While bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Califroy at the bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike its enemy his heart at Garlemald. These brave few will be the Elsbard contingents. Yeah, I thought so. To think such progress has been made in a short span. Its objectives are twofold. First, to prove the aid to people of provide the aid to people of Garlemald. As I previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They will serve Terfly's every whim without a question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them out from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it's the right thing to do. Oh, it's strategic, totally strategic. Do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and quest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. Why does her nose seem slightly bent? Why does her nose seem slightly bent? I only that choose think to remember that we are not also forsake our compassion and morality. For without that, there can be no reconciliation. Only death without end. And that's a chungus of a nose. On that, we can all agree. Our second objective is the Cluster Starboard that Tancred and Ranger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires are merely precursor of what is yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make headway. So the same could be said with the of Telephroy. They certainly, they are certainly in no rush to press further into our lanes. Our wages spires are primarily purposes to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantial by Yestola's analysis of the tower and influence of ethereal crumbs. Based on our observation inside the Tower of Zot, the spire siphons ether from the land and consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than required task alone. The excess ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure that it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the largest spire in the capital. There's logic in that, and regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll be bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume there is more than a handling over the scales being on our way. Yeah, you take the tower. We want you and your skills to join the Elzabad. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eosia and Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Right, so you want me to actually... I guess for the people of Galamath we are technically rescuing. Couldn't put it any better myself. Yesterday that Tanker and Orianji have tried their sport and we are on and are on the way to meet the rest of the contingent. They're positive you would come out to the same decision as they did. Luckily, for all involved, the prediction was correct. Yeah, if I didn't join, well, you would like check us down, eh? Once you have delivered the warning scales to Alamico, the contingent will embark on its journey to Elzabad. Urban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing the preparation, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon your arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. With that, the cold will do you in before the Telephroy as much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep each enemy busy while you're gone. They are not the only ones who can create diversions. Now go, safe in the knowledge that Eosia will be as you left it or better upon your return. Right. It will be as serious or will be better. Interesting. Playing me a red con there, Admiral. That'll be a red herring. That'll be a red herring, Admiral. There's no way yours is gonna be better because of me going over there. Give me a random. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the NPC? Don't tell me Ruban. It's Ruban Extreme again. It's Ruban again. The Wanderer's return. You have been busy bringing down the tower and producing key to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those wording skills of yours are what made this whole adventure possible. Will you and Lord Armory lead the contingent? Regrettably, our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we are seeing you all off, back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to formation of Elizabeth contingents, and the very suggestion that we send some of our troops behind enemy line to render aid onto Gallians made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not. Though I do my best, and truth be told, I would rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I have of battles of my own to fight. Yeah. Where words may serve me better than blades. I hate to say it, but though makes struggle here on my own. For the time being, best we can do can offer you is peace of mind. Knowing areas is enough safe hands, as your fight is good fight. Fight a good fight in Elsbad. I and other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you for both. We meet again. So are you coming, boy? Much occurred since we parted ways in Vevelet, and from what I gathered, the protective talismans you obtained led to information of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is a minor one. That information I have, that being the information I have shared with Maxima, for the sake of people of Calamity, may fate be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange, I thought you have a stake in this. I do. Telefroy have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mode of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused for murdering Emperor Varius and plunging the government into chaos. Were I to travel with the Isbad Guardian, it would give me a countryman ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent might instead celebrate the return of the former Legastus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating contingent's mission. That's true. Whether I be branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. Thought they will be pleased to sing the area of champion. For set foot on Gallian soil. That's so true. Fair point, but as long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all, and suddenly the every person should have no inkling of your identity. Though your title indeed are common knowledge, only select few will recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the warrior of light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. In light of Gaius' other unique circumstances, instead I will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for a political reason, I love for government still ensures in those, and I will stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friend inside? You might even bump into old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again at the path, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. Alright, so who's inside? Who's in the room? Nothing, we're not going inside the box, but who's in the room? Yo, Estinian. Where is mother? Though I am rather less recognized on sight, still something weighs mind when we reach Calamity. So that guy is Belsa. The horror he must have seen. Many of his own making at no arts. With the knowledge that our hairlines will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to his body in front. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Galama too. When the only Imperials they have ever known are the soldiers. So true. Oh no, not the bird. Once we have seen the contingent on its way, we will return to our duties. I will return to my duty here in, and many of my most capable traveling. Many. And we remember will have to fight much harder to make up the difference, but let no man say that I do not welcome the challenge. This old bully isn't ready to hang up the horns yet. What you gotta say? I neglected to mention when we receive a report from our troops that may be of interest while engaged, Luna Primal, a great worm swooped on the skies above and came to their aid. This worm is described as a spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she too continued to wage war against Lefroy. So, I see. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your own peril. Oh, I get a mystery gift! Woot woot! Other members of contingent are gathered in Royal Palace. We shall inform of your arrival, so please make your way inside as you are ready. What? Come on, you didn't even bother taking me with ya! Yeah. Yeah, let me in. The Nether wouldn't let me in. He just ran away on his own, so yeah. Who have we got? Is Frolda coming? I wonder.
By the 12.
Alright, who is it? Yeah. Quite a lot of them.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilzabard contingent.
Oh, is that a Chiffon's brother right there? And the Lancer trainer and the machinist trainer, all three of them there. The Bard guy, yeah, the Bard quest guy, and his thingy bob. The white mage, the Thaumaturges, and the Pepin, monk, scholar. Who else do I recognize? Do I recognize anyone else? Yes, those guys look like blacksmiths.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Oh, are you coming, Lucia?
Lucia.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end.
So, does this mean we are possibly gonna be making Lucia the alliance member from Galamant? The alliance, Galamant's representative in the alliance.
We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
That is funny. All the spectators lining up to wave at the same time.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation, here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer.
Yeah,
we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald.
The White Mage.
To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
He recognizes me as a white mage.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
The card?
Wait, I know you. The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me.
Oh, he's that guy. Okay. He's that guy. I see. He's the guy who actually wanted to fight the Admiral. The one who was causing rebellion on the... Was the... White Bear? No, not the... On the ship, basically causing a... Going against the Admiral. The guys who were picking on the... Beastmen. Raiding Beastmen. Guys who kept wanting to do the piloting. He's one of those.
Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhole in as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
Well said, mate. Well said.
So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
I don't remember that
Since we
guy.
all know how
Don't
much the
remember that guy.
Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy.
So that's why there's a lot of smiths in there, eh?
Course, just like the Gradanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again... The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
Pepin!
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield. From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the avatar of destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require.
Are we, by any
The four
time...
high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolaine! Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service.
Did they change his voice actor? And I don't think he's happy to be here. He'd rather be skill chasing.
Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away.
Yeah.
Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
Yeah.
But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroi with my tales of derring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzi. Our
What?
allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Ah,
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
Panigals.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of... And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth.
You know that, right?
They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range.
So does that mean a dungeon?
Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey.
What? Come
However,
on!
attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all...
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Come on. Right, I'm going to stop this one here, and basically it's getting to be long hour-long video, so I'm just going to make rather than trying to make it into a huge multiple hour-long video, so I'm trying to keep it around an hour. So I will be stopping this one here, and the next video will continue from here. So see you into the next one.